Hello everybody, welcome to the 12th video of my YouTube channel, Four Corners of the Earth. The reason I named it that is because we got to spread this message to all the four corners of the earth, which is pretty much symbolic as, every corner of the earth. The whole world needs to know. I'm going to continue reading in Exodus chapter 24 is where I left off. And we're going to start getting into like the very detailed instructions from God to Moses on building the tabernacle. And let me tell you, it is very, very, very detailed. So it's going to be a lot of little repetitive kind of things with measures and sizes. So a lot of people like to skip this part of the Bible, but like I said, I'm reading the Bible thoroughly, and this kind of interests me because it's like the whole, I just find it fascinating, like the details, like they had to get it perfect to make the tabernacle in order to worship God in the proper way, with the proper garments, with the proper measures, with the proper materials and everything. So let's continue here. We're going to read a few chapters today and follow along with your Bibles or just enjoy the video. Exodus 24. Then he said to Moses, God, "Go up to Jehovah, you and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and bow down from a distance. Moses should approach Jehovah by himself, but the others should not approach, and the people should not go up with him." Then Moses came and related to the people all the words of Jehovah and all the judicial decisions, and all the people answered with one voice, "All the words that Jehovah has spoken, we are willing to do." So Moses wrote down all the words of Jehovah. Then he got up early in the morning and built at the foot of the mountain an altar and 12 pillars corresponding the 12 tribes of Israel. After that he sent young Israelite men, and they offered up burnt offerings and sacrificed bulls as communion sacrifices to Jehovah. Then Moses took half of the blood and put it in bowls, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. Then he took the book of the covenant and read it out loud to the people. And they said, "All that Jehovah has spoken we are willing to do, and we will be obedient." So Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, "This is the blood of the covenant that Jehovah has made with you in harmony with all these words." Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel went up, and they saw the God of Israel. Under his feet was what seemed like a sapphire pavement, and it was as pure as the heavens themselves. He did not harm the distinguished men of Israel, and they saw a vision of the true God and ate and drank. Jehovah now said to Moses, "Come up to me on the mountain and stay there. I will give you the stone tablets with the law and the commandment that I will write for their instruction." So Moses got up with his attendant Joshua, and Moses went up the mountain of the true God. But to the elders he had said, "Wait here for us until we return to you. You have Aaron and Hur with you. Whoever has legal case may go to them." Then Moses went up the mountain while the cloud was covering it. Jehovah's glory remained on Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it for 6 days. On the 7th day he called to Moses from the midst of the cloud. To the Israelites who were watching, the appearance of Jehovah's glory was like a consuming fire on the mountaintop. Moses then entered into the cloud and went up the mountain. And Moses stayed on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights. Chapter 25. Jehovah then said to Moses, "Tell the people of Israel to take up a contribution for me from every person whose heart moves him. You are to take up my contribution. This is the contribution that you are to accept from them: gold, silver, copper, blue thread, purple wool, scarlet material, fine linen, goat hair, ram skins dyed red, seal skins, acacia wood, oil for the lamps, balsam for the anointing oil and for the perfumed incense, and onyx stones and other stones to be set in the ephod and the breastpiece. They are to make a sanctuary for me, and I will reside among them. You are to make it, the tabernacle and all its furnishings, following exactly the pattern that I am showing you. They are to make an ark of acacia wood, 2.5 cubits long, and 1.5 cubits wide, and 1.5 cubits high. Then you will overlay it with pure gold. Inside and outside you are to overlay it. And you will make a border of gold all around it. And you will cast 4 rings of gold for it, and attach them above its 4 feet, with 2 rings on one side and 2 rings on the other side. And you will make poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold. You will put the poles through the rings on the sides of the ark in order to carry the ark with them. The poles will stay in the rings of the ark. They are not to be removed from it. You will place in the ark the testimony that I will give you. You will make a cover of pure gold, 2.5 cubits long and 1.5 cubits wide. You are to make 2 cherubs of gold. You will make them of hammered work on the 2 ends of the cover. Make the cherubs on the 2 ends, 1 cherub on each end of the cover. The cherubs are to spread out their 2 wings upward, overshadowing the cover with their wings, and they will face each other. The faces of the cherubs will be turned toward the cover. You will put the cover on the ark, and in the ark you will place the testimony that I will give you. I will present myself to you there and speak with you from above the cover. From between the 2 cherubs that are on the ark of the testimony, I will make known to you all that I will command you for the Israelites. You will also make a table of acacia wood, 2 cubits long and 1 cubit wide and 1.5 cubits high. You will overlay it with pure gold and make a golden border around it. You will make a rim around it, a handbreadth wide, and a border of gold to go around the rim. You will make for it 4 rings of gold and place the rings on the 4 corners where the 4 legs are attached. The rings are to close to the rim as holders for the poles for carrying the table. You will make the poles of acacia wood and overlay them with gold and carry the table with them. You will also make its dishes, its cups, and its pitchers and bowls from which they will pour drink offerings. You are to make them out of pure gold. And you will put the showbread on the table before me constantly. You will make a lampstand of pure gold. The lampstand is to be made of hammered work. Its base, its stem, its branches, its cups, its knobs, and its blossoms will be one piece. And 6 branches will extend out from the sides of the lampstand, 3 branches from one side and 3 branches from the other side. 3 cups shaped like almond flowers will be on one set of branches with knobs and blossoms alternating, and 3 cups shaped like almond flowers on the other set of branches with knobs and blossoms alternating. This is how the 6 branches will extend out from the stem of the lampstand. On the stem of the lampstand are 4 cups shaped like almond flowers, with its knobs and its blossoms alternating. A knob will be under the first 2 branches that extend out of the stem, and a knob under the next 2 branches, and a knob under the next 2 branches, for the 6 branches extending out from the stem. The knobs and the branches and the whole lampstand are to be one piece of pure hammered gold. You will make 7 lamps for it, and when the lamps are lit, they will shine on the area in front of it. Its snuffers and its fire holders are to be of pure gold. It should be made, along with these utensils, from a talent of pure gold. See that you make them after their pattern that was shown to you on the mountain. Chapter 26. You are to make the tabernacle with 10 tent cloths of fine twisted linen, blue thread, purple wool, and scarlet material. You are to make them with embroidered cherub designs. Each tent cloth will be 28 cubits long and 4 cubits wide. All the tent cloths are to be the same size. 5 tent cloths are to be joined one to another to form a series, and the other 5 tent cloths will be joined in a series. You will make loops of blue thread on the edge of the one tent cloth at the end of the series, and you are to do the same on the outermost edge of the other set where it will join. You will make 50 loops of the one tent cloth and 50 loops on the edge of the other tent cloth, so that they will be opposite each other where they join. You are to make 50 gold clasps and join the tent cloth together with the clasps, and the tabernacle will form one unit. You will also make cloths of goat hair for the tent over the tabernacle. Excuse me. You will make 11 tent cloths. Each tent cloth will be 30 cubits long and 4 cubits wide. All 11 tent cloths are to be the same size. You are to join 5 of the 10 cloths together and join the other 6 tent cloths together, and you are to fold over the 6th tent cloth at the front of the tent. And you are to make 50 loops on the edge of the 1/10 cloth, the outermost one in the series, and 50 loops on the edge of the 10th cloth at the other place where they join. You are to make 50 copper clasps and put the clasps in the loops and join the tent together, and it will become one unit. The remaining part of the 10 cloths will serve as an overhanging. Half of the 10th cloth that remains will hang over the back of the tabernacle. The remaining length of the cloths of the tent will serve as an overhanging for the tabernacle by 1 cubit on each side in order to cover it. You will also make a covering for the tent of ram skins dyed red, and over that a covering of seal skins. You will make the panel frames for the tabernacle out of acacia wood standing upright. Each panel frame is to be 10 cubits high and a cubit and a half wide. Each panel frame has 2 tenons joined to each other. That is how you should make all the panel frames of the tabernacle. You are to make 20 panel frames for the south side of the tabernacle facing south. You will make 40 silver socket pedestals under the 20 panel frames, 2 socket pedestals under the 1 panel frame for its 2 tenons, and 2 socket pedestals under each following panel frame for its 2 tenons. For the other side of the tabernacle, the northern side, make 20 panel frames and their 40 silver socket pedestals, 2 socket pedestals under 1 panel frame, and 2 socket pedestals under each following panel frame. For the rear section of the tabernacle to the west, you will make 6 panel frames. You will make 2 panel frames to serve as the 2 rear corner posts of the tabernacle. They should be doubled from the bottom to the top up to the first ring. This should be done for both of them, and they will form the 2 corner posts. And there will be 8 panel frames and their 16 silver socket pedestals, 2 socket pedestals under the 1 panel frame, and 2 socket pedestals under each following panel frame. You will make bars of acacia wood, 5 for the panel frames of the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the panel frames of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the panel frames of the side of the tabernacle to the west for the rear section. The middle bar that runs along the center of the panel frames should extend from end to end. You will overlay the panel frames with gold, and you will make the rings of gold as holders for the bars, and you will overlay the bars with gold. You must set up the tabernacle according to its plan that you were shown in the mountain. You are to make a curtain of blue thread, purple wool, scarlet material, and fine twisted linen. It will be made with cherubs embroidered on it. You will hang it on 4 pillars of acacia overlaid with gold. Their hooks are to be of gold. The pillars are set on 4 socket pedestals of silver. You will hang the curtain under the clasps and bring the ark of the testimony there within the curtain. The curtain will make a division between the holy and the most holy. You must put the cover of the ark of the testimony in the most holy. You will place the table outside the curtain with the lampstand opposite the table on the south side of the tabernacle, and the table you will put on the north side. You will make a screen for the entrance of the tent out of blue thread, purple wool, scarlet material, and fine twisted linen woven together. You will make 5 pillars of acacia for the screen and overlay them with gold. Their hooks are to be of gold, and you will cast 5 socket pedestals of copper for them. Chapter 27. You will make the altar of acacia wood. It will be 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The altar should be square and 3 cubits high. You will make horns on its four corners. The horns will be part of the altar, and you will overlay the altar with copper. You will make buckets for clearing away its ashes, along with shovels, bowls, forks, and fire holders, and you will make all its utensils of copper. You will make a grating for the altar, a network of copper, and on the network 4 rings of copper at its 4 corners. You will set it down below the rim of the altar, and the network will extend part way down into the altar. You will make poles of acacia wood for the altar and overlay them with copper. The poles will be inserted into the rings so that the poles are on the 2 sides of the altar when it is carried. You will make the altar in the form of a hollow chest of planks. It should be made just as he showed you on the mountain. You will make the courtyard of the tabernacle. For the south side, facing south, the courtyard will have hanging curtains of fine twisted linen, 100 cubits long for the one side. It will have 20 pillars with 20 copper socket pedestals. The hooks of the pillars and their connectors are of silver. The hanging curtains for the north side will also be 100 cubits long, also with its 20 pillars and the 20 copper socket pedestals with silver hooks and connectors for the pillars. There are to be hanging curtains on the west side for 50 cubits across the width of the courtyard, with 10 pillars and 10 socket pedestals. The width of the courtyard on the east side towards the sunrise is 50 cubits. There will be 15 cubits of hanging curtains on the one side with 3 pillars and 3 socket pedestals. And for the other side there will be 15 cubits of hanging curtains with 3 pillars and 3 socket pedestals. The entrance of the courtyard should have a screen, 20 cubits long, made of blue thread, purple wool, scarlet material, and fine twisted linen woven together, with 4 pillars and their 4 socket pedestals. All the pillars surrounding the courtyard will have silver fasteners and silver hooks, but their socket pedestals will be of copper. The courtyard is to be 100 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 5 cubits high, made from fine twisted linen and it should have copper socket pedestals. All the utensils and the items used in the service of the tabernacle, as well as its tent pins and all the pins of the courtyard, are to be of copper. You are to command the Israelites to bring you pure beaten olive oil for the lighting, in order to keep the lamps burning constantly. In the tent of meeting outside the curtain that is near the testimony, Aaron and his sons will arrange to keep the lamps lit from evening until morning before Jehovah. It is a lasting statute for all their generations to be carried out by the Israelites. Chapter 28. You are to summon from the Israelites your brother Aaron along with his sons, so that he may serve as priest to me. Aaron along with Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar, the sons of Aaron. You are to make holy garments for Aaron your brother, for glory and beauty. You are to speak to all those who are skillful, those whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, and they will make Aaron's garments for his sanctification, so that he may serve as priest to me. These are the garments that they will make: a breastpiece, an ephod, a sleeveless coat, a checkered robe, a turban, and a sash. They will make these holy garments for your brother Aaron and his sons, so that he may serve as priests to me. The skilled workers will use the gold, the blue thread, the purple wool, the scarlet material, and the fine linen. They are to make the ephod of gold, blue thread, purple wool, scarlet material, and fine twisted linen, and it should be embroidered. It is to have 2 shoulder pieces that are joined at the 2 top edges. The woven belt, which is attached to the ephod for tying it securely in position, should be of the same materials: gold, blue thread, purple wool, scarlet material, and fine twisted linen. You are to take 2 onyx stones and engrave on them the names of the sons of Israel, 6 names on the one stone and the 6 remaining names on the other stone, in the order of their births. A stone engraver will engrave the names of the sons of Israel on the 2 stones as he would engrave a seal. Then you are to have them mounted in gold settings. You are to put the 2 stones on the shoulder pieces of the ephod as memorial stones for the sons of Israel, and Aaron must carry their names before Jehovah on his 2 shoulder pieces as a memorial. You are to make settings of gold and 2 chains of pure gold twisted like a cord, and you must attach the corded chains to the settings. You are to have an embroider make the breastpiece of judgment. It should be made like the ephod, out of gold, blue thread, purple wool, scarlet material, and fine twisted linen. It should be square with a double span long and a span wide. You should set it mounted stones, 4 rows of stones. The first row is ruby, topaz, and emerald. The second row is turquoise, sapphire, and jasper. The third row is leshem stone, agate, and amethyst. The fourth row is chrysolite, onyx, and jade. They should be mounted in settings of gold. The stones will correspond to the names of the 12 sons of Israel. Each one should be engraved like a seal, each name representing one of the 12 tribes. You are to make wreathed chains of the breastpiece like the cords of pure gold. You are to make 2 rings of gold for the breastpiece and attach the 2 rings to the 2 ends of the breastpiece. You are to put the 2 cords of gold through the 2 rings at the ends of the breastpiece. You will put the 2 ends of the 2 cords through the 2 settings, and you must attach them to the shoulder pieces of the ephod at the front. You are to make 2 rings of gold and set them at the 2 ends of the inside edge of the breastpiece, fastening the ephod. You should make 2 more rings of gold on the front of the ephod, below the 2 shoulder pieces, close to where it is joined, above the woven belt of the ephod. The breastpiece should be held in place by a blue cord tying its rings to the rings of the ephod. This will keep the breastpiece in place of the ephod above the woven belt. Aaron must carry the names of the sons of Israel on the breastpiece of judgment over his heart when he comes into the holy as a constant memorial before Jehovah. You will put the Urim and the Thummim into the breastpiece of judgment, and they must be over Aaron's heart when he comes in before Jehovah. And Aaron must carry the means of making judgments of the Israelites over his heart before Jehovah constantly. You are to make the sleeveless coat of the ephod entirely of blue thread. There will be an opening at the top in the middle of it. Its opening should have a border woven all around it by a loom worker. It should be like the opening of a coat of mail, so that it will not be torn. You should make pomegranates of blue thread, purple wool, and scarlet material all around its hem, along with bells of gold in between them. You should alternate a bell of gold and a pomegranate, a bell of gold and a pomegranate all around the hem of the sleeveless coat. It must be worn by Aaron so that he may minister, and the sound from it must be heard when he goes into the sanctuary before Jehovah and when he comes out, so that he will not die. You are to make a shining plate of pure gold and engrave on it as one would engrave a seal. Holiness belongs to Jehovah. You must fasten it to the turban with a blue cord. It is to remain on the front of the turban. It will be on Aaron's forehead, and Aaron will bear responsibility when someone commits an error against the holy things, which the Israelites sanctify when they offer them as holy gifts. It must always remain on his forehead so that they may gain approval before Jehovah. You are to weave the checkered robe of fine linen, make a turban of fine linen, and make a woven sash. You will also make robes, sashes, and headgear for Aaron's sons for glory and beauty. You will clothe your brother Aaron and his sons with them, and you are to anoint them and install them and sanctify them, and they will serve as priests to me. Also make linen shorts for them to cover their naked flesh. These are to extend from the hips to the thighs. These must be worn by Aaron and his sons when they come into the tent of meeting, or when they approach the altar to minister in the holy place, so that they may not incur guilt and die. It is permanent statute for him and its offspring after him. I am going to pause it there, guys. Chapter 29 is pretty long, and I don't want to go over 30 minutes. But, insane, detail to detail. They had to get it perfect. I mean, can you imagine being up in the mountains 40 days and writing all this down? There's actually a picture behind this Bible here of what it looks like. I don't know if the camera will do some justice, but there it is. Like, there's a person right there. That's how big it was, you know, and then all the details. It's pretty crazy how it ended up looking. And then look at the the gear that the priests would have to wear, like Aaron and his sons, and then the sacrificial things there, containers. But it's pretty nuts to see. We're not even done yet. There's still much more that needs to be done, but that's what would carry the Ark of the Covenant. So, it's pretty interesting. The curtains, the pillar, the screen, the copper socket pedestals, the incense, and the everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed that reading. Today is the last day of the month. So happy November to all of you. I hope you have a good month. Pretty crazy that we're already in November, and I just God bless you all and your families and wherever you are in the world. And I just pray to God for the best for all of you. We're living in crazy times, and it's showing. So anyways, stay strong, stay focused, and may God be with you all. You all have a good night. See you on the next video. We'll continue reading about the tabernacle and the building of it. Thank you all for watching the video. Try to hit like and subscribe and comment. Leave me a comment. I know the channel is small but growing, but I want it to grow more so everybody could, start talking about the Bible and just have it in someone's mind, and so it's all good vibes. All right, take care, everybody. Thank you.